Hello, and thanks for joining us again. Last week, Maryland Governor Wes Moore gave his first State of the State address. One of Governor Moore's goals is to accelerate improvement to Maryland's minimum wage, bringing it to $15 an hour sooner than the current mandate of 2025. Here in Montgomery County, that's already required of all large employers. I'm proud to have led the fight for 15 when I was on the county council. And I appreciate Governor Moore championing the acceleration across the state. All workers deserve decent wages that help put a roof over their heads and help them feed their families. A decent wage is the path to more opportunity, improved equity, and better schools. Governor Moore pointed out the connection between alleviating poverty and improving the quality of life for people. The more we're able to ease the family stresses that come with poverty, the better it is for all of our classrooms. I support the governor's goal of raising Maryland's minimum wage quickly and his proposal to make permanent the temporary improvements to the Earned Income Tax Credit. If your family earns less than $60,000 last year, you may qualify for this federal and state tax credit program, which helps lower the tax burden on working families. I'm proud of that. I'm proud that Montgomery County is the only locality that matches that support through the Working Families Income Supplement. You can learn about the program, find free tax help, and financial education tools by visiting montgomerycountymd.gov/cashback. The income tax credit for low-wage earners, coupled with a higher minimum wage, means more money goes into our local economy, creating a stronger community. As Governor Moore stated, we can set up our children to win the next decade if we get rid of policies that don't force hundreds of thousands of our children to lose. I'm proud to support the governor as well as our new comptroller, Brooke Learman's efforts to ensure that working families in our state and county have the support and resources they need to thrive. Recently, the schools hosted a well-attended forum on fentanyl use, and it was clear that it's a growing concern. We will continue to talk about the issue of adolescent overdosing on drugs. As the Clarksburg High School principal said at the event, it's an issue in every single high school in Montgomery County. A Montgomery County Police Department detective told the same crowd during a forum on the dangers of fentanyl use that MCPD has seen a more than 400% increase in youth overdoses compared to the same time last year. It's not acceptable, and we must have a sense of urgency about this. Any overdose could lead to a fatality, and too many young people are playing Russian roulette with these pills. Fentanyl has been in the community for several years, but now police say it's being found in pill form as counterfeit substitute for other prescription drugs, making it easy to hide and easy to use. The DEA's top administrator has called fentanyl the single deadliest drug threat our nation has ever encountered. While other pills offer a brief high, fentanyl has the power and potential to kill even first-time users. There have been 5 fatalities in young people under the age of 20 caused by overdose since the start of the school year. We encourage all parents and students to discuss fentanyl and its dangers. Starting that conversation helps them understand why taking pills not prescribed for them can be so dangerous and can help you identify issues the kids are dealing with that you may not have been aware of. We want anyone at any age in the community in our county dealing with drug addiction and misuse and looking for help to contact the Montgomery Crisis Center 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at 240-777-4000. Ralph Waldo Emerson famously wrote that our greatest glory is not in never failing, but in rising up every time we fail. Overcoming addiction and substance misuse is not easy, but the first step is to reach out for help. Last week, President Joe Biden announced that in May, the federal government will end its declaration of a national emergency for COVID. It means funding will dry up for vaccines, testing, and other public safety measures that the feds have for years been reimbursing states and county governments for in the name of public health. Additionally, the end of the emergency declaration is going to impact Title 42 student loan forgiveness, as well as Medicaid and Medicare benefits when it comes to COVID tests, vaccines, and treatments. Even though FEMA reimbursements are ending, we plan to continue offering free test kits and scheduling vaccine appointments through the end of the fiscal year, which is June 30th. And we'll continue to be the only local government in the DMV still providing these regular updates on our community health. But let's make no mistake, just because the federal emergency is ending does not mean COVID is no longer a threat. It was only a few weeks ago that our hospitals were under great stress. And just since November, COVID has been over 850% more deadly than the flu. This is a virus that we cannot simply ignore because we want it to go away. Protecting yourself with vaccines and bivalent boosters can help keep you out of the hospital and, more importantly, keep you alive. Currently, only 34% of eligible county residents have received their bivalent booster. And these numbers are even worse when it comes to younger adults and those in our Black and Latino communities. Right now, our bivalent booster adoption rate are about 1/3 of where they were in the beginning of December and decreasing. To figure out whether you need a booster is very simple. If you have not gotten a COVID shot since last September, you need a booster. Please go to the govaxmoco.com to find out the closest and easiest location to get one. No appointment is necessary. For the second year in a row, our county has made it a priority to support groups that could be at an elevated risk of hate crimes. We have awarded $800,000 through our county's nonprofit security grant program, and we are the only local effort in the country to provide operating support for security for their organizations. Through the application process, we discovered that more than half of the 91 groups awarded money this time already had some prior history of dealing with threats and bias incidents. Many of the groups receiving grant money represent churches that have been vandalized for supporting social causes or because they represented recently targeted communities like Jewish, Asian American, or the LGBTQ+ community. Money available through this program can be spent on security measures or crime deterrence like video surveillance systems. Many of the groups say they intend to use money to protect vulnerable areas like daycare or senior centers. This is one part of our fight against intolerance and hate. We cannot be silent when we see bigoted disrespect in our community. When we see pride flags ripped down, when we hear anti-Semitic graffiti laughed about or condoned, we should all push back, because if we allow these messages and acts to continue, the ideas will spread. We're still calculating 2022 numbers, but 2021 saw more than 20% jump in hate and bias crimes. If you see something, say something by calling police at 240-773-8477. We should not allow our neighbors to be targeted because of their race, religion, or sexual orientation. When any community, faith, ethnic, or minority is intimidated or faces hate in this county, all of us are being attacked. And we will continue to respond to these acts of hate with unity, love, and a compassion for those who've been victimized. Every year, Library Lovers Month is celebrated in our county during the month of February. The idea is to bring together families for fun activities and programs centered around our mutual love of reading. It also helps us recognize the value of libraries in our community. Libraries provide many purposes. They host workshops for those looking to expand their job skills, find work, or do their taxes. Libraries also are gathering places for book clubs, yoga classes, and hands-on activities, from arts and crafts workshops to special programs in which kids read to dogs. I want to thank Montgomery County Library Board and Friends of the Library for helping support Library Lovers Month and being responsible for so many wonderful programs and activities serving every customer, from toddlers to seniors. Our libraries have also been valuable community resources in our effort to reduce the risk of COVID by handing out free COVID rapid tests and face masks. They have handed out over 2 million test kits and over 2.4 million masks over the past year. That is an incredible and important public health service. I'm very thankful to all the libraries and their employees, and I encourage you to check out what's happening at the library nearest your house this month by visiting montgomerycountymd.gov/library. That's it for this week. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you have a great week, and we'll be back again next week. Thank you.